The pageantry. The tradition. A trivia podcast like no other.
I think I'm in the wrong
This
place.
is the Brain Masters. Huh?
Where am I?
That was beautiful. I like to change the pace.
That was
Thank you.
totally unexpected.
It's real now,
Thank you.
Andy. It's real.
Yeah.
Feels real.
This is the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast for those of you who thought they stumbled on a golf podcast. Kels, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Feeling good about today's show.
I am too. You should be. You're in the lead, but that may end today. Andy, how you doing?
It could.
I'm feeling sharp. I'm feeling it today.
Good. Neil?
No, hold up. What? I'm sorry. Just how many points do you and Andy have? Because you're tied, right?
I think we have 7.
You both have 7. I have 10, so I can't lose the lead today.
Cannot.
I get 1 point just for playing.
Right.
Let's carry the one.
Forgot my gazintas for a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be 2
Yeah.
shows. So we're
Okay.
spotting you in the tall grass.
Well, thanks.
Right. Okay. But as you were saying,
Neil, can you explain the rules to the people so I don't have to talk about how bad my math is anymore?
Well, sure. Every week we have a theme, and within that theme, we've got 6 categories of 4 questions each. Each question is worth 10 points, with a few bonus points thrown in here and there, and a final question that is worth up to 100 points. And we're currently partway through a tournament. The winner of each game gets 3 points. The second place player gets 2 points, and as Kels mentioned, first place or third place just gets a point for showing up.
We call that the Davo point.
The still playing point.
Still playing.
And a new innovation that we have for this tournament is we have a bonus round where each question is worth 15 points instead of 10 points. I've completely reworked my my random number generator. It's so let me. I'm just going to randomly choose which of the 6 categories is going to be the bonus. I'm not going to tell you until we get to it. I don't know why, because it doesn't really matter, but
I like
the
suspense. You know. Ooh.
All right.
I can hear the turbo.
Somebody drop some keys.
it sounds fancier.
It does.
Yeah.
So I hope everybody is in a safe place today, because today's theme is death.
Wow.
We're going dark.
All about death.
Right.
It is dark.
Okay.
I was told that these guys can make any theme funny. So challenge accepted.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
The gauntlet has been thrown down. Do one of us die at the end of this episode?
We won't know which
Well,
until the end.
Okay. Oh, hence the roll of the dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
right. Category 1 is executions.
Wow.
Question 1. Which Babylonian king codified the death penalty for 25 different crimes?
Locked in.
Really?
Yeah.
How many Babylonian kings do you know?
I hope he's one, but I got one.
Well, there's Babylonia from Prince's Band.
That's Apollonia.
It's Apollonia.
Oh,
actually.
Oh, so you can see where I get that mixed up.
Right.
So you're already in the negative.
Mm.
And then you got Babylon sank.
We.
If there were kings on that, you watched that, so you should be good.
I can't even come up with a joke answer. Cannot punt on the first.
You can.
Totally can.
Technically, you can.
It doesn't bode well, but you can. You could be the first player in history to punt on the first question and still
No, I
win the
refuse
game.
to do that.
Okay.
I will come up with locked in.
Okay. Kels, what's your answer?
I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I said Hammurabi.
Okay. David?
Amarabi.
Hammurabi.
That's how I
Andy?
pronounce it.
Yeah,
King of
sounds better.
Hearts.
Owen?
Playing with the king of Cha-chinka, chinka,
That's
chink.
Queen of Hearts.
Oh, sorry.
I thought you were talking about Owen,
Oh, yeah.
the only king of hearts.
The correct answer is MC Hammer Rabbi, because I like Hammer Rabbi.
It's pronounced like Hammer Rabbi?
Or Hammurabi. Huh?
Is it pronounced Hammer Rabbi?
No, that's how Kels
Well, I
pronounced
like
it.
how Kels pronounced it.
Shout out to Mr. McMoran, who wasn't sure how to pronounce it either. He gave us two, and that's the only one that I remember. So,
Who was
10th
he?
grade world history for the win.
Question 2. The G7 countries represent the 7 most advanced economies. 2 of them have not abolished the death penalty. One is the United States. What is the other?
Locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
I'm locked in too.
David?
I went with China.
Okay. Andy?
Italy. But then I rethought that. I think I'm wrong.
Kels?
I said Japan.
Andy, what did you second guess yourself as?
Well, I didn't come up with a second country, but I thought about. I originally thought Italy for some reason. I wrote down. And I thought to myself that Catholicism is big in Italy, and I imagine the Pope is strongly against the death penalty. So I'm guessing I'm wrong.
I'm not sure what the Pope's stance on it is, but the correct answer is not Italy. It is Japan.
Oh,
I don't think
Japan?
China's in the G. I don't think China's in the G7.
no, they're not.
It should be. It's a big
I,
economy.
I
You
crossed
know?
the map. I crossed the mountain, put Japan.
Question 3. What South American country and founding member of OPEC was the first country in the world to abolish capital punishment in 1863?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Andy?
Venezuela.
Kels?
Venezuela.
David?
Venezuela.
Yeah, it was Venezuela. I figured that would be pretty easy because I think it's one of only 2 South American OPEC countries, and it was the only founding one.
Yeah, that's how I got it. I had no idea about the death penalty.
Yeah, if I just said which South American country, I'm guessing you all would have probably said Brazil or Peru or something, but it is Venezuela. Question 4. After a nearly 10-year pause on executions in the U.S., Gary Gilmore was executed in 1977 in Utah. What method of execution did he choose? And for a
Lock.
bonus,
Oh,
Gilmore was for a bonus. Gilmore was an organ donor and donated what body part, or what body part of his was used by other people?
Locked in.
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
Kels?
I said sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. That's not.
Freaking
It's not
laser
really what I
beam.
wrote. I just wanted to say that. But I said hanging, and he donated his eyes.
Okay. Deva?
I said firing squad, and he donated his liver.
Andy?
It's firing squad, and at first I drew a complete blank, and now I think, didn't he donate his brain to science? He wanted to know, he wanted them to study it to find out why he did the things he did.
Oh. Ooh, wow.
Or I might be thinking of somebody else.
That could be true about him, but that was not the
Okay.
donation that I was thinking of. He did choose to be executed by firing squad, and he donated his corneas to 2 different
Oh.
people. So, Kels, you got the bonus. Andy and Davo got the question. So it was kind of a. It was kind of a. I was very young at the time, so I didn't know this was going on. There's kind of a cultural thing about him. Norman Mailer wrote a book called The Executioner's Song. Saturday Night Live with Candice Bergen did a Christmas song called "Let's Kill Gary Gilmore for Christmas."
Whoa!
And yeah, I think it was. I think it was a pro. I think it was a protest of the execution. Uh, Eric Idle did a reference. He basically did a joke on Saturday Night Live in 1979 about him. A song that's on my punk playlist by the Adverts. There's a song called Gary Gilmore's Eyes, and this is the weirdest one. An ad agency claims that the ad agency that came up with "Just Do It" for Nike, they claim that that was
Last
based on his
words.
last words of "Let's do it."
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Hmm.
So what did he do?
He killed several people, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it was an armed robbery gone wrong, wasn't it?
He killed 2 people.
Which
He was charged with armed
Okay.
robbery, assault, and murder. And he wanted the death penalty. He actually demanded it. Yeah.
Really?
and I think at the time his choices were hanging and firing squad, and he chose firing squad, which I think I would do too. If those were my only options, I think I'd.
Oh, between the two. Oh, yeah. It's not even a
Yeah.
question.
All right, are we having fun yet?
I love it.
Light and breezy.
Like I'm no longer in my chair, if that's what you mean. Like,
Category 2 is television.
Television.
Question 1.
Television.
After a racist tweet in 2018 by an actress, her sitcom character was killed off by the writers. Name either the actress or her character. And for a bonus, how did the character die? This was last year.
I pointedly did not watch this show.
I'm locked in. Me
Yeah,
either.
I do not watch this show at all. I never have. Well, I'm locked in.
I'm locked in as well.
So it sounds like you all think you know the show.
Yeah,
Not
so.
the bonus.
I'm pretty sure we all know the show.
Okay. Devo?
Roseanne Barr. And I had 2 options in my head about how her character would be killed off. And one was on screen and one was off screen. So I went with the off screen one of car accident.
Okay. Andy?
It's Roseanne Barr, and I remember reading that she died from an overdose of pain pills because they wanted to bring attention to the opioid crisis. So that was really
Kels?
timely.
I also went with Roseanne Barr, and I said hit by a bus.
The correct answer is Roseanne or Roseanne Barr, and Roseanne Connor is the character name. And she died of an opioid overdose.
Oh,
What?
look at Andy.
Question 2. Dr. Derek Shepard is killed off in season 11 of the long-running show. By what nickname is he often known?
I am locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in?
I'd just like to point out real quick that my girlfriend, bless her soul, has watched the entirety of this show, like front to back, probably double-digit times now.
What?
Wow.
Which I find to be absurd because until she met me, she hadn't seen Blank Man yet.
Now there's a problem. She's spending all her time watching this.
I think my wife's only on her 3rd time through.
It's insane to me. Like, where are your priorities coming to America Harlem Nights because of me? But you've seen Grey's Anatomy 1,700 times. I can't wrap my mind around it. I just can't.
I've never seen one episode of this show.
I've seen one.
Andy, what's your answer?
I know this. I've never seen one minute of the show, but as a McBride, I know this answer because he stole my nickname.
Did he know?
Oh,
yeah,
did he?
right.
Long before this doctor came on TV, I was called McDreamy. And he stole
I
that
thought
from
you were
me.
called McFlurry.
Hello,
McFlurry
McFly.
if you're nasty.
McFlurry.
Kels
McDreamy.
Thank
and
you.
Deva.
McDreamy.
Okay.
Stole my name.
All right. Question 3. In the episode titled Alone Again Natural Diddly, what Simpsons character was killed off? I'll give you full credit for the full name and half for the last name.
Locked in.
I know the last name. What it was?
I'm not going to risk it. I'm locking in with the last name.
Oh, that's a good point.
If you give me the wrong first name, then I don't think I can give you credit.
I know how Neil works.
If you give me the wrong,
Settle it.
so if I give you the wrong first name, because I have a really good
Okay.
guess. If it's wrong first, but will I still get the last name?
No.
No.
What do you mean no?
Your answer is wrong if you
No.
have the wrong first name.
Yeah.
All right, I'm putting the first name in parentheses and would be so mad if I'm wrong.
All right, Kels.
My guess was Maud Flanders.
Devo.
I just put Mrs. Flanders.
Okay. And Andy.
I have Flanders, parentheses, Maud.
It was Maud Flanders.
See, Dave made me take the safe route.
Telling you.
Safely, thankfully.
That's why nobody calls me McDreamy anymore.
That's why.
Yeah.
Playing it safe.
That's true.
Not the surf and turf.
Surf and Turf's a good cop.
Question 4. On Bewitched, the actress portraying this neighbor died of cancer and was replaced without comment in season 3 with a different actress.
I can see her in my mind's eye.
Which one?
Yeah, that's true.
Mark 1 or Mark 2?
Good point. I'm locked in with the wrong answer, but I just want to say it.
You know what? I'm going to lock in with the wrong answer because
You just want to say it?
the unsung hero of this show.
I'm going to lock in with the name I want to say.
Okay, Devo.
Tallulah Bankhead. Because the name
Okay.
Tallulah is amazing.
I'm looking for the name of the character, right?
Yeah. I had no idea.
Okay. All right, Andy.
I'm going with Paul Lynde because nobody was funnier on that show except for Paul Lynde.
Circle gets the square.
And Kels.
Sorry.
Kels.
Mrs. Furley. It's a crossover.
The crossover episodes?
It was a spinoff. Well, so Three's Company was a spinoff of Bewitched.
Wow.
I'm sure you're shocked none of you got it.
What?
Huh.
No.
The correct answer is Lenny's mother, Gladys Kravitz.
Oh.
Lenny's mother.
All right, at the end of round 2, I've got Andy with 47, Deva with 55, and Kels with 62.
Oh.
Made up a little ground there.
I'm not. You
Yeah.
did technically, sort of.
No, mathematically, I made up some ground. There's no sort
Well,
of about it.
I mean, you made up some ground to second place, but you lost ground to third place.
That's deep.
Yeah.
I mean, to first
Yeah.
place.
Yep.
Anyway, round 3, category 3 is
Mhm.
movies.
Oh.
Oh, good. Kels never gets these.
I'm gonna do something different for this one. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you the hard version of the question, and you can lock in with that. If you don't want to, if you're not sure, then I'll give you a hint, and you
Ooh,
can lock in with that for half
I dig it.
points.
Oh, I like that.
Oh,
Does that make
okay.
sense?
I can dig
Okay.
that.
So, question one: what is the name of the fifth Dirty Harry movie released in 1988?
Mm,
So you can either lock in or pass, and then I'll give you the easy one if somebody passes.
Was it? It wasn't Dirty Harry's Secret of the Ooze,
that would have been the second one.
right? I'll make you ooze.
I can see. I think I saw that movie. Huh.
I haven't seen any of these.
I
I
saw
I'm
it
like
an,
that.
an epoch
pass.
ago, but I'm gonna need the easy one. Pass.
I'm
Okay,
locked
so
in.
Kel's locked in.
Yes.
The second part or the clue is
Excuse me.
it also shares a name with a Marvel superhero.
Locked in. Ha
Cyclops.
How did you
It's
know?
Jean Grey, isn't it? Damn it. I locked in with the wrong answer.
I'm just gonna answer something. Okay, I'm locked in.
Okay, David, what'd you answer?
I said Carnage.
Okay, Andy,
Ooh, Devo.
The Deadpool.
Oh
Kels.
yeah.
Yeah.
Also went with the Deadpool just because it fit the theme of the show.
The correct answer is Deadpool. So there's a really
Yeah.
interesting nugget. There's a scene from this movie which features a young Jim Carrey dressed up like a rock star lip syncing to Guns N' Roses' "Welcome to the Jungle" in a music video that's kind of a parody of The Exorcist, the bed scene where her head twists around,
Mm-hmm.
and that video is being directed by Liam Neeson.
What?
This
Wow,
is
this
Yeah,
is movie
insane.
it was.
magic.
You could watch that scene on YouTube if you just search for Deadpool Jim Carrey. We'll get you there
I
probably.
mean,
I had that scene running through my head, and I kept hearing "Welcome to the Jungle," so that obliterated any chance I had of getting the Deadpool, even though it was the Deadpool they were drawing names from. And wasn't it like? Did they have like remote control cars with bombs on them? They were like chasing people. Is that another crappy movie?
Question two in movies. This 2007 film follows two terminally ill men on a worldwide journey to participate in various activities.
Locked in.
Locked in.
oh. Locked in. Duh.
Andy,
The bucket list.
Kels,
The bucket list.
and
The Bucket List.
it was the bucket list. All right, let's go back a little ways. Question three: Ordinary People is a 1980 movie about the death of one teenage son and the attempted suicide of his younger brother. It was the directorial debut of a well known actor and won him the Best Director Oscar. Who was this director?
I'm locked
Locked
in.
in.
He's one of only a handful of people that have won Best Directing Oscar for the first movie they directed.
And that you said there's an easier version to this question. I'm willing to take the hint
No,
on
no, no,
this one.
no.
Oh, there isn't. It's just on the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there goes the hint.
If you guys like that, I'll try to do that more often.
I do like that.
Oh no, that's cool. I know it's not this person, but I can think of more people who it isn't than who it might be.
Well, there are a lot more people who didn't direct that movie than did.
Yeah, so you see my
Billions.
dilemma.
You're you're starting from a position of strength, Kels.
uh, what the hey? I know this isn't correct, but it's gonna make me feel better. I'm locked in.
Kels, what's your answer?
That would be John Legend.
I'm sure you're going to go
Wow.
with Spike Lee.
Was John Legend alive in 1980?
No.
Yeah, him. He was just younger, but yeah, he
Younger.
was kicking.
It's 4 or 5.
Deva?
You know. I said Robert Redford.
Andy?
It is Robert Redford.
Correct answer is Robert Redford.
My mom loved this movie.
No, he won an Oscar for directing. Good for him.
Question 4. Jason Voorhees has the highest kill count in the horror movie genre with about 122. But so far in this 3-movie non-horror franchise, the title character has racked up 290 confirmed kills. Who is it?
You said 3-movie non-horror franchise.
Yes. These would be action movies, not horror movies.
Oh, I will go with this. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
Mm, There were 3 Ninja Turtle movies, right?
So many foot ninjas dead.
mean, we never saw the same guys again, so we can only suspect that they were murdered. Uh, I gotta guess. I'm locked in.
Andy?
Well, this is a sleeper because he claims he doesn't kill, but it's Batman. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I know. That came out of left field. It's surprising. Like, it seems like it's got to be wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably a good reason for that.
It
Yeah.
really seems
Didn't
like
say
it
Really does.
should be
He ain't
wrong.
saved that guy.
Kels?
After much pondering, I went with John Wick.
Ooh,
Ooh,
There
that's
you
a
go.
good one.
that's probably what it is.
That's probably right. I feel. Well, I went with the 3-movie thing. John Wick is so much better than my. It's so much better than my answer. But I went with Blade.
Oh,
Ooh, that could be it.
man,
That's an
really
interesting choice. The correct answer, however, is John
Batman.
Wick.
Oh.
You don't mess with the man's dog.
Never.
Somebody put together an interesting infographic of all 3 John Wick movies that shows where he killed people, with what weapon he killed people, and how many he killed.
That's somebody with a lot of spare time.
Yeah. All right. At the end of round 3, I've got Andy with 72, Davo with 75, and Kels with 92. Andy's making up ground by his math.
Yeah. Yep.
We're just ordinary people.
Cinderella story.
Category 4 is sports.
Sports.
Question 1. What 1995 first round draft pick died of heat stroke during the Vikings training camp in 2001?
Locked in.
Oh, I can see.
I'm locked in.
Ugh.
Face popped in my head as soon as you said that, and it took a second to get the name to go with it, but I think it's him. I might have the year wrong. What year did you say? 95?
Yeah. Well, yeah, he was drafted in 95 in the first round. He died in training camp in 2001.
All right, I feel better about it. Yeah, I'm good.
Pretty sure I'm right. Locked in.
Did you lock in, Devo?
Yes.
Okay. Kels, what's your answer?
Corey Stringer.
Andy
I couldn't come up with his first name. I wrote down Stringer.
and Devo.
I got him and Pat Williams mixed up. I wrote down Pat Williams.
Correct answer is Corey Stringer. Question 2. This 12-time Gold Glove winner died in a plane crash while delivering aid to Nicaraguan earthquake survivors in 1972.
Locked in.
Locked in.
Said 12-time Gold Glover, right?
Yep.
All right. Oh man, I don't feel this is right, but he's all I got. I'm locked in.
Okay, Andy,
Roberto Clemente.
Devo,
Roberto Clemente.
and Kels.
My father's favorite player, Roberto Clemente.
Nice.
That is the correct answer. Little nugget about him. There's probably a lot of really interesting things about him, but he hit the only walk-off inside the park grand slam in professional baseball history.
Oh, wow.
Jesus.
What?
Did not
Walk
know
off
that.
grand slam inside the park.
That's
Yep.
that's a hard one to pull off. Please tell
I'm
me
gonna
it's on
look-
YouTube because
so
I'm
I-
going to
look
look
that
that
one
up
up.
after the show.
Say,
I looked
doesn't
it up. What does walk-off mean again? I forgot.
Like,
Wins the game.
ends the game.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that put the game out of reach in the bottom of the ninth, right?
Yeah. Hold on. So, and he has like 3,000 hits exactly, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Like right on the nose.
Another little known fact, 2 weeks before his death, a very young David Lacey, trading playing cards with somebody else, exclaimed, "What have you done for me lately, Roberto Clemente? I thought you were already dead." And 2 weeks later,
Oh,
yeah,
because he kills off people.
yeah.
Damn.
What year did
Big.
that plane crash?
1972.
That's 4 years before I was born.
I said you were young.
Question 3 in sports. What former NFL tight end committed suicide in 2017 while serving a life sentence for the murder of his friend Odin Lloyd?
Locked in.
Locked in.
Locked in.
David?
Aaron Hernandez.
Kels?
Aaron Hernandez.
And Andy?
You beat me to the joke. Aaron Hernandez.
Sorry.
Oh,
I had a student named Aaron last year, and I used that all year.
He loved it.
He loved it.
question 4. The first black
I have
Heisman
a
Trophy.
I have a trivia nugget.
Oh, I'm sure it's
about
going to be a
Aaron
fun one.
Hernandez.
Okay.
The season that he was convicted, that he was in court, the year before I had him on my fantasy team.
Okay.
So that whole season, he sat in on my bench, and it said A Hernandez in parentheses. It said court.
And that's what made Davo say, "What have you done for me lately,
Right.
Aaron Hernandez?"
Yeah.
I know. I got to draft another tight end, Aaron. Come on.
You're killing me over here. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Oof.
All right, question 4. The first black Heisman Trophy winner was the number 1 draft pick in 1962, but never played in the NFL because he was diagnosed with leukemia before the season started and died soon after. Who was he?
Locked in.
I'm locked in.
Kels?
Express, Ernie Davis.
Andy?
Wait, what'd you say, Kels?
Express was the name of the movie about him, but Ernie Davis.
I thought it was
Andy?
Brian's song was the movie that was based on him.
No.
And it was Brian Piccolo. Oh, God, I'm getting my football
Piccolo.
movies mixed
You're
up.
getting your tragic football movies mixed up.
Wasn't that about a white guy?
It
Yeah.
was.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was James Caan. Oh.
Yep. Yep.
I knew Brian Piccolo. He was a friend of mine.
So is that your answer, Andy?
Yeah, that was my answer.
No.
Hold up, your answer was Brian
Yes.
Piccolo or Gail Sayers? The
I'm
first
really
Blair
confused.
Trophy winner.
Well, yeah, you know, well, that happens.
Whew.
That's what happened. You locked in.
David.
I locked in super quick. I didn't even think about it. I probably should have thought about it.
Andy, did you move? You sound differently now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I leaned back in disgust.
Okay. David, what's your answer?
Well,
Wait, did Andy, what did you finally say?
Brian Piccolo.
Piccolo?
Brian Piccolo from Brian's song. I
Okay.
had my.
Just making sure. I kind of like hearing you say
I
that.
understand.
David?
Well, I didn't know the answer. So, in honor of my dad and one of his favorite movies, I said Brian Piccolo. I love you, Brian Piccolo.
Well,
Oh my god.
in a stunning change of
So in democracy, the
lead.
Piccolo's got it, right? No?
No, because he's still, as far as I know, not the first Black Heisman Trophy winner. Okay, at the end of round 4, Davo 95, Andy 102, and Kels 132.
I'm making up ground.
Let's see how you do this time, Andy. We've got your favorite category, music.
Yes! They all die. It's like Shakespeare.
Question 1. What guitarist died in a helicopter crash after leaving a concert in Wisconsin in 1990? Bonus. Who had he been the opening act for that night?
Locked
I'm
in.
locked in.
I'm locked in.
Davo, what's your answer?
I said Stevie Ray Vaughan, and I did not know who he was opening up for.
Kels?
I said Eddie Hazel.
No, not Eddie.
I mean,
Do you know who Eddie was opening up for in Wisconsin in 1990?
no, I don't.
Andy?
It was Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he was part of the all-star band that was traveling with Eric Clapton.
Correct answer is Stevie Ray Vaughan, and he was opening for Eric Clapton.
And a little personal note, I still remember vividly exactly where I was when I heard this because it happened really early on a Monday morning, and that weekend I had driven to Elgin, Illinois, where my girlfriend was going to college. And I'd spent the weekend with her, and I was driving back super early in the morning to get to work on Monday morning. And the Alpine Valley Music Theater, which is where they had been playing, where the helicopter had taken off from, was very close to the Chicago area. And the helicopter Stevie Ray Vaughan was in when it crashed was actually Eric Clapton's helicopter. And so when the radio bulletin started coming in that morning when I was driving to work, it was Eric Clapton had been presumed killed. And by the time I got to work, they had figured out that Clapton had not been on his own helicopter, but it was in fact Stevie Ray Vaughan. So for a couple hours on Monday morning, it'd been Eric Clapton everybody thought was dead.
Why didn't Eric get in his own helicopter?
I don't remember why it was Clapton's helicopter, but Stevie Ray Vaughan was on it.
Eric was staying for some reason, or they left early. I think it was weather related too. Part of the reason they think that it was described as a controlled flight into the
Mhm.
ground. Basically,
Mhm.
it was pretty foggy, and so it was a very experienced helicopter pilot. He just didn't know where he was, I guess, and ran into the side of the mountain.
Oh,
But it was something like Eric. Either there was a group leaving earlier and Eric still had to stay for a while, or I forget exactly. Although it was like 2 in the morning when it happened, I think.
It was. I mean, I probably had left. I'm trying to think. Elgin would have been a couple hours from where I had to be at work, so I had probably left her house or apartment like around 6 o'clock in the morning, and it had been on the news for a while by then. It had been, it was pre dawn when the plane or when the helicopter crashed.
Yeah, I remember where I was. I was leaving work. Um, I was interning during college at a concert promoter, and I heard it on the radio. And I consider myself fortunate that I was able to see him in concert when he opened for
Mm.
the Who a couple years
Nice.
earlier. He was actually the first opening act, and then the his brother's band, the Fabulous Thunderbirds, were the second group, and then the Who. But he was awesome. He was playing behind his head, and he was just doing all kinds of crazy stuff. He was amazing. Anyway, question 2: what former Black Sabbath and Rainbow singer died of stomach cancer in 2010?
Locked in.
Wait a minute.
I'm gonna lock in.
Oh, wait. Yeah, of course. Da 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 da. Wait a
Wow.
minute.
What?
Oh, well, I already started writing it down, so I'm sticking with it, but now I'm second guessing that already.
Well, if you haven't locked in, you can change it.
No, I locked in. I wrote it down.
Kels, what's your answer?
I guess Ronnie James Dio.
Andy?
That's what I guessed too, but then I don't think he died of cancer.
Deva?
Ronnie James Dio.
I guess he
It was
did.
the holy diver himself, Ronnie James
He
Dio.
died of cancer, huh? Why was I thought
On stage.
Really?
I don't think that
Yeah.
happened.
He was
that's
20
right?
when he
He
died.
died of
I knew there was something else to
he
that.
died of cancer on stage.
He
Cancer on stage.
he died. The thing I heard was that he was touring and he was suffering from cancer, but he died while touring. I don't know if it was on stage. I doubt it, but
But but it was
he
on
was on
tour.
tour.
All right. Question 3 in music. Paul McCartney played organ on the song Only One, which was allegedly channeled through what singer's deceased mother? The lyrics of the song were channeled through the
Okay,
singer's mother.
locked in.
I should say it was channeled by his the singer's deceased
Mm,
mother.
uh,
I have no idea.
only one. Uh,
That's the name of the song.
If you guys don't know this, I'm going to have so much fun with this because it's so.
oh,
And the
I
song is
don't know
bad. I'll
this
just say it right off the
at
bat.
all.
Singers. Yeah,
Oh,
at all.
and you don't know this, Kels?
No. Only one.
This is
I've never even
this
heard
is
of this.
delicious. There's a reason why you haven't heard of this.
I'm gonna lock in with a guess though. You know what, Davo?
No, I have no clue. I'm trying to think of a good guess.
It did hit 35 in the Hot 100.
Only because, well, We'll get there.
But I agree, it's a
Oh.
miserable song.
It's a miserable.
Oh,
The
wow.
idea was a train wreck from the get go.
I'm just going to punt just to get us to the answer because I want to hear this. I have no
Okay.
clue.
Let's start. So, Devo punted. Kels.
I said Linda McCartney, but now go ahead, go to the finish because I have a feeling I know who this might be now.
I
When
have
did this
something
song
of a
come out?
guess.
When did it come out?
He
Yeah.
never
It
said.
came out in 2014.
What?
Oh, okay. All right. I think I know who it is.
A date
that
would
have
have
been
been really nice.
Yeah, because
I
I
think I
said
have
my
an
answer
idea
already, right?
too.
Linda McCartney was my answer, but I got a
Okay,
feeling it's. Well, I'll let Andy go ahead.
Andy, go ahead.
It's Kanye West. It's Kanye
You
West.
see,
Kanye
Yeah,
I would have
West's
said
mom.
yeah,
Kanye.
It's Kanye
yeah.
West's
Donda
mom.
West. I still. I'm not even. It's not ringing a bell. Maybe if I heard it, I'd be like, okay,
No,
I know I apparently
So,
know this, but no.
Neil, what's the story with this?
Um, it's, so Kanye and McCartney wrote the song together, I think.
yep.
Um, and so from the perspective of his mother to Kanye, but it's about Kanye's daughter North. And at some point, it says Kanye West is described in the press release as not being able to remember singing the words to the song when he and McCartney were later reviewing the 2014 sessions. Later, West, quote, realized that perhaps the words had never really come from him. He understood in that moment that his late mother, Dr. Donda West, who was also his mentor, confidant, and best friend, had spoken through him that day. A message had been passed down
What?
through generations.
So,
That's
So
Which interestingly is also the background to Paul McCartney's Mother Mary spoke Let It Be. Mother Mary is Paul's dead mom.
and Paul's dead mom channeled the lyrics of Let It Be.
Yeah, and possibly yesterday. So this is a thing that happens when you hang out with Paul McCartney. Apparently, is your
apparently,
dead mom will write you a song. Yeah,
this is a seance. Okay.
this is and everybody knows, friends of the show and know that I'm a huge Beatles fan, and I'll be the first to say I love Paul McCartney. I love his work. He should stop recording and stop desperately trying to stay relevant. And the Kanye West thing was such a desperate grab for I'm still young and hip in my 70s. Knock it off. Just stop. Flaming Pie was McCartney's last good album that came out in the 90s. And that was kind of an anomaly. Like he hadn't recorded anything good in a while. And Flaming Pie came out like, ooh, that's pretty good. Then, yeah.
Really, you weren't a fan of Ram?
I think it's Ram that McCartney bragged in the liner notes how quickly they recorded it. And Rolling Stone pointed out, yeah, it was pretty believable that you recorded it that quickly.
all right.
Oh boy.
Question 4 in music. Brenda Spencer was a 16-year-old who killed 2 and injured 9 at the Cleveland Elementary School in 1979, and she was the inspiration for the song I Don't Like Mondays by what Irish band?
Locked in.
The story is that when someone asked her why she did it, she said, I don't like Mondays. And she wanted to do something to liven it up.
Yeah, she was uber nuts.
I have a little trivia nugget to go with this as well.
I have a guess. I'm locked in.
Ah, crap. I'm locked in too.
Devo,
You too.
they are an Irish
They
band.
are.
Kels.
Man, I put you two too.
And
It's
Andy.
the Boomtown Rats.
Correct answer is Bob Geldof's The Boomtown Rats.
And a kind of a trivia nugget, and it kind of alludes to this in the song. The Boomtown Rats were being interviewed at a radio station when the news story broke. And so Bob Geldof, along with the radio staff, was seeing the story come in over the teletype. And so the song is kind of based on that. And some of the bits in there, the quotes are all off of the teletype as they were sitting in the studio waiting to be interviewed.
I like the song.
I love that song.
The video's interesting.
Never heard it.
All right. At the end of round 5, a stunning turn of events. Devo has 115.
Still here, guys.
Kels has 142. Andy has 144.
Oh, I'm losing ground now. Rats. I was catching up, but now, wait a minute. I don't do math.
You don't.
Wow.
Our last category is Andy's second favorite and today's bonus category,
No.
science. Question 1. What Danish astronomer probably died in 1601 of a kidney or bladder problem because he refused to leave a banquet to relieve himself, considering it a breach of etiquette?
Wow, now
Danish.
Danish
Say that
astronomer who
again?
died.
Okay. I heard explorer. I was drifting off into.
Irrelevance?
Yes.
locked in.
Where I've been the last
Wow,
four
that
categories.
I'm locked in. I'm open. Whoop.
Danish.
I'm locked in, and I'm also going to have to request after this that we take a recording break so I can go to the bathroom because I didn't realize how dangerous it was for me to be sitting here drinking my A&W root beer.
Yeah.
He apparently held it for a long time.
I don't know the story, but I locked in with the only Danish astronomer I know from Cosmos, the original series.
I locked in with a name. Science is awful.
Sure. I'll lock in.
Andy, what's your guess?
I guess Tycho Brahe only because I remember him when I was watching Cosmos as a little kid, because Tycho was also the name for a model train manufacturer. And that's how I remember his name.
Interesting.
I thought Tycho made like just all kinds of toys.
They did slot cars. They were like one of the first big electric toy manufacturer of the 70s.
Oh, okay.
Deva
Copernicus.
and Kels.
I said Olsen.
Quick answer is Tycho Brahe.
Yes. Thank you, Cosmos and electric toys.
Would it have helped you guys if I put in something about his fake nose?
No.
No. I have no idea.
What?
Tycho
Yeah,
Brahe.
he also had a fake nose. The rumor was that it was made out of gold, but it wasn't. It was some kind of bronze or brass, I think.
Was it a duel? Like it gotten cut off in a duel?
I think it got cut off in a duel or something. All right, question 2 in science. I'm just going to point out that Andy got the science question right.
Yeah, because of trains and TV.
It's all about life experiences.
And how you waste them.
Question 2. This German scientist who proved the existence of electromagnetic waves and has the scientific unit of frequency named after him died of an infection when he was just 36.
We have to have the full name?
Nope.
Locked in.
Locked in?
Locked in.
Kels.
It would be really cool if the scientist's name was his first name was Mega, but I went with Hertz.
Andy.
Actually, I always understood that his first name was Hertz and his last name was Donut. But I just locked in with Hertz.
Deva.
Hurts. Donut.
His first name was actually Heinrich, so it's a good thing you didn't try to guess that.
Double
Last name
H.
Hertz. Question 3. The Tuskegee experiment was a highly unethical 40-year experiment to observe the progression of what disease, causing the unnecessary deaths of dozens of men.
Locked
Locked
in.
in.
Oh, man.
So as I'm writing it though, I'm realizing I have no idea how to spell it.
Oh, this this should be the spelling challenge of
Oh man.
the
I don't
evening.
even want to I'm not even going to reveal how I spelled it.
It's not that hard to spell though.
Got it down to 2.
We probably helped a lot with
I'm locked in.
Damn it.
Yeah, the spelling thing helped.
Damn it.
I
Damn
think.
it.
So it's not flu, because I can spell
Not
that one.
acne.
Crabs.
Deva, what'd you end up with?
Chlamydia.
Kels?
Ooh. Dave, what was your other one, if you don't mind me asking?
Gonorrhea.
Well,
It's like you
I went with
feel the bullet whizzing past you.
I wrote down I wrote down syphilis.
Syphilis.
I knew it was a venereal disease.
Yes.
Dang it.
Andy, did you hit syphilis? Okay. The correct answer is syphilis.
God, this is the only time I've ever wanted syphilis.
I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Chlamydia is the soup. I've seen it on the shelves.
So the truly horrible part about that experiment was even once we had a cure for syphilis, which is basically just penicillin, they refused to give it to these people, and a lot of these people, these men were uneducated sharecroppers, and all they were told was that they were getting special medical checkups. They didn't say anything about the disease. And even when World War II broke out, and maybe even later wars, some of these guys were enlisting or being drafted, and to be drafted, they would have had to get a penicillin shot to cure their syphilis, but the experiment refused to let them do that, so they basically didn't allow them to be drafted so that they could be cured.
So, what was the Mangala-like point of the experiment?
To advance to see the progression of
Yeah,
the
they
disease.
genuinely
I
wanted to
guess.
see the disease all the way through. They wanted people to die for the disease so they could see exactly how they died from the disease.
Question 4. This African American woman who died in 1951 is the source of the first immortal cell line. The cell line is known as HeLa and is one of the most important in medical research today.
Oh,
Locked in.
this has been on that Skeptic's Guide a couple times.
As many times as I shelved this, I'm locked in.
Oh. See, and this is the problem. I'm not going to be able to come up with her name, and I can't do a joke answer because it would just be so wholly inappropriate. This is the problem
This
with
is
the
when you
death.
punt.
You're
This
right.
is when you
Ray
punt.
Guy, because there's no
Hang
joke and there's no way I'm
Hang
coming
time.
up with her name. I can tell you all about how the
Hang
family
time.
has just recently kind of figured things out, and yeah.
I'm locked in.
So, Andy, I don't know if you caught the clue. The cell line is named Hela.
It's the
I don't know if that
first two
helps at
letters
all.
of her first name and last name.
Oh,
So, Davo, what did you come up with?
I was going to follow the same logic train as Andy and not put down a joke. So I just put down the letter X just to write something down.
And Kels.
I believe it's the immortal life of one Miss Henrietta Lacks.
okay.
It's
No way
Henrietta
in the
Lacks.
world I would have come up with that.
For the,
Nope, I wouldn't have remembered it.
I shelved dozens of those books. Dozens.
Neil and I listened to the same
So, since the
podcast, and
19
they've talked about her a few times.
Since the 1950s, scientists have grown as much as 50 million metric tons of her cells,
Really?
and there are almost 11,000 patents that involve her cells. And until pretty recently, none of her family knew anything about this.
So now her family knows, right?
Yes, but it's
And
really
now they're
unclear.
getting a cut, right?
I don't know. I haven't read the book, but I suspect probably not. I mean, her cell lines have probably saved the lives of a lot of people.
Of course. Yeah.
Anyway, at the end of the regular questions, I've got Devo with 130,
Still here, guys.
Kels with 180, Kels with 187, and Andy with 189.
Woo-hoo.
It's almost anybody's
Almost.
game except for Devo's. I mean, technically, Devo has a shot. He's just got to get 6 more correct in the final question than the other two guys.
So you're like the Marlins at this
Could
point.
happen.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. The final category is I've got a list from the CDC of 2016 deaths from the year 2016, ranked in order. I've got the first 10 here. So all I need you to do is name me these 10 causes of death, the most common causes of death in the U.S.
Surf and Turf's a good cop.
All right, let's get your answers. Let's start with Devo.
Okay. I said, in no particular order, I said heart disease. I said cancer. I said high blood pressure. I said diabetes.
Diabetes.
I said stroke. I said murder. I said car accidents. Did someone chuckle when I said what?
The way you said murder.
The way you said murder. Yeah, like you talk like that all the time. You know, you said murder.
uh, car accidents, accidental overdose. I put the greatest killer of all, old age, and suicide.
All right. Kels.
All right. I said pneumonia, flu, stroke, natural
my.
disasters, hypertension, automobile accidents, leukemia, heart disease, diabetes,
Diabetes.
and cancer.
Okay. And Andy.
Cancer, diabetes, stroke, heart disease or heart attack, Alzheimer's.
Mm.
I don't know if this is too general or not. I just put down accidents, any kind of accidental death, pneumonia, suicide, and I put opiate/drug overdose
Ooh.
or reaction. And I'm not sure if I got the right. This is 2016. So the number one
Yeah.
killer would have been Thanos. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
No, that's early. That's
Last year's
last
that's
year.
locked in.
2018.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, not 16.
so Thanos is gonna be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
So I was the only one who picked murder.
Murder.
Well, once you said it, I was like, man,
I don't think so. Violent
that's a
crimes
really good answer.
those numbers have been in decline for. I mean, there's been a recent uptick, but I would bet violent deaths don't even make the top 20.
I would be willing to say top 20. I was just guessing for top 10.
Yeah, if it's top 10, I don't want. It's probably at
Yeah.
the like 9 or
Yeah.
10. If it's in the top 10.
Murder.
Okay. I will give you the top 10 in order.
Okay.
The lowest one, the one that had the least amount of deaths with 45,000 was suicide,
Got it.
Oh.
All right.
followed by nephritis, nephrotic syndrome, and nephrosis, or basically kidney
Oh,
problems.
didn't get it.
Okay.
Influenza and pneumonia were categorized
Got
the
it.
same, so I could only give you credit for one if you said both. Diabetes, Alzheimer's was 116,000.
Got it.
Cerebrovascular disease or stroke was 142,000. Chronic lower respiratory disease (COPD) was 154,000.
Mm.
Unintentional injuries 161,000. So that kind of is all accidents.
So accidental overdose falls under that, I would hope.
Oh,
Yeah, there's nothing specifically about overdoses in
okay.
here,
So that's
so
no
I'm
go
going to
on
call
that
those
one.
accidents.
And car accidents?
Would be accidents.
Not specifically.
Okay.
That would be included in accidents, but there's only
Oh.
maybe 30,000 deaths from car
Look,
accidents.
every point matters for me, so I'm being very specific.
I understand.
Okay?
What about
Yep.
So no automobile
murder?
accidents.
Murder.
Hold on, just to be perfectly clear, automobile accidents don't fall under accidents. I'm guessing,
Well,
or do
I'll give you accidents for that.
okay.
But like Davo said, car accidents and overdose. I'm only going to give him
Yeah.
accidents
Yeah.
One of those
for that one. Yeah, Andy was more correct by saying all accidents
But
together.
then I had
with-
opiate overdose / drugs, and that's not on the list, so I got crossed off. Okay.
Okay, so unintentional injuries or accidents was 161,000. Then we jump up to almost 600,000 for malignant neoplasms, aka cancer. And the number one killer in the United States in 2016 was heart disease with 635,000 deaths.
Hmm.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but I've got Davo with 6 correct.
Yes, 6. So I'm temporarily in the lead right at this second,
And I've
guys.
got Kels.
Right now I'm ahead.
Woo, Davo!
You are by 1 point. By 1 point. Kels, I also have 6 for you. Is that right?
that is correct.
This takes you to 247.
Oh.
And Andy, I've got 8 correct for Andy.
Woo!
His total to 269 and the win.
Congratulations, Andy.
Thank you, everybody. Good effort, Davo.
Thanks.
Well played, Andy.
Neil, what does that make the tournament standings?
Well, right now we've got Dava with 8 points in the tournament, Andy with 10, and Kels with 12. We're halfway through.
All right.
It's getting close for Davo here. It's getting tight. Step up my game. So thank you very much, Neil, for a light and breezy tournament entry.
It was light
You're
and
welcome.
breezy.
I had a good time putting this one together.
Light and breezy. So from all of us here, at the Brain Ladle Trivia Podcast. This is Davo with Kels.
And don't you ever, ever interfere with my business again. Because if you do, I'll kill you. I kill you and everything that you love. I kill you dead. That's what I do to protect my family, Peter. You understand?
Well,
Okay. Dark.
Wow. Andy?
So long, ladle brainers, but not so long in the sense that I'm dying or anything. I'll be back next week. I was just don't want to get anybody the wrong idea.
And Neil.
Haruki Murakami said, "Death is not the opposite of life, but a part of it."
You're deep.
Right on.
No, I'm not. That guy I quoted was.
Signing off.
Hey, all you cats and kittens. Like what you hear? Listen to the show on your favorite podcast app. You can also tweet at us if that's your groove at Ladle Brain. We're also on Facebook at Brain Ladle Productions. And you can look us up on YouTube. And if you're feeling it, we have a website, brainladletrivia.com. And if you got a little money and you think we're funny, why don't you kick us some, honey, at our Patreon. Peace, love, and soul. The preceding podcast was presented by Brain Ladle Productions. All rights reserved.